Welcome, traveler, to the land of Ethnos. A new age is dawning. Do you have the whims, the wits, to become the Lord of Ethnos?
I didn't want to interrupt. Do you want some tea?
There is no tea in Ethnos. There is troll tea, and dragon biscuits, and wizard sugar.
Are you... Okay, do you know what you said?
There is no time. The land of Ethnos has a new age dawning.
Right. It's just that when you talk about wizard sugar and you wear the beards, you look a bit like... I mean, there are connotations to do with... Because sometimes children, they don't know what's in their drink.
Come! The realm of Ethnos is divided unto 6 kingdoms. One does not step lightly into Pelagon, a realm of wet rivers and stony mountains. Beside it, Staten has a big forest. Do you know what that is?
Where trees are.
Many trees, side by side, such that they block out the sun, sometimes. And down in the far southeast lies Juris, the land of knockoff condoms.
What?
It's fine. You can still wear them. They're basically the same. They just cost a lot less.
Oh my god, stop!
I bought 18 boxes from China. Do you want? I'll throw in some wizard sugar.
We've got good news and bad news for you. The bad news is that Ethnos is one of the most aesthetically dull games we've ever reviewed. From the board, to the tokens you put on the board, to the cards, to the back of the cards, to the name of regions, to the name of the game.
The name of the game! Ethnos. It's like terminology from right-wing propaganda. Even when the game isn't just being slightly odd, I cannot understate just how dull this world is. It's like a version of Narnia where the wardrobe is just a wardrobe, and instead of Turkish delight, you just get cubes of spam.
And yet, the good news is that this is a game that everyone can enjoy, from gamers to family members, but that means it should have been saddled with a theme that everyone can enjoy, like as was the case with Pandemic or Mysterium or Burgle Brothers. Instead, with Ethnos being drenched in orcs, it's sending out a message that this game is for dorks, and it's not. Spoiler, this game is for everybody.
So
it's astonishing.
It is astonishing. So after that kind of slightly unpleasant appetizer, let's jump straight to the dessert. Shut Up and Sit Down recommends Ethnos, but it also recommends that you don't judge this game by its cover.
Or its board.
Or its orcs.
In the game of Ethnos, between 2 and 6 players, 2 to 6 are trying to get the most points across either 2 or 3 rounds. And each round ends when 3 dragons, which have been shuffled into the bottom half of the deck, come out of hiding. You could say that the dragons are there so that the game doesn't drag on. On your turn, you're going to do one of 2 very simple things. Either you're going to take a card, choosing to take a card from blindly the top of this deck, or picking one of the creatures out of this Tolkien-esque welfare queue. And if you do that, you do not replace it. The other thing you can do on your turn, instead of taking a card, is to play a band. If you play a band, you're playing cards from your hand that are either all the same species, or, let's not screw this up this time, all the same colour. Now, when you play a band that's all the same species, you actually pick one of the cards to be the leader, and that determines where you place your token, right? Because if you've just played more cards in your band than you have tokens in the leader's region, you get to place exactly 1 new token in that region. That's relevant because at the end of each age, when the dragons come out, you see who has the most tokens in each region, you get that many points, and also if you happen to play some really big bands, you're going to get really big points for those too. But playing big sets is way harder than it sounds, because whenever you play a band, you have to discard everything else to the benefits queue for other players to snatch up, and that's nightmarish. So in play, Ethnos ends up resembling a sort of greedy picnic where everyone's hurriedly grabbing more than they can eat and then groaning aloud as they have to put it back.
But who lives in a house like this? Well, a combination of ethnic groups including Minotaur, Troll, Skeleton, Merfolk, and of course the famous ethnic group of Wizard. But these races basically make up the other half of the game, adding a slightly jumbled up randomised edge in which you draw 6 characters, or randomly, or by choice, it's up to you, and then you just take the rest of them and you throw them in the bin.
No, you put them in the box, Matthew!
So each race in Ethnos does a different thing if it leads your party. Let's start with trolls as an example of how much they can mess the game up. If you're playing with trolls, you get troll tokens. If you play a 2-troll tribe, you can pick up the 2-troll token. You get these on a first troll basis. But what these do is these break ties. If we are tied in a region and we've got trolls in our game, it's not, oh, we'll share the points. It's, I've trolled the shit out of you, d***.
Orcs come with their own little board. Everybody gets one of them, and they sit in front of you. And every time you play a little band with an orc leader at the front of it, you then take that colour and you get to put one of your tokens on the same colour. It's a grey orc on the grey board. Again, highlighting just how much better this game could have been if the theme was anything else. These little orc boards basically, literally add an element of bingo. Every time a new orc pops up in the shop, everybody goes, oh, eyes down, green. Oh, I haven't got green. I'll get a green orc, do that. In between rounds, you can cash in the orc boards for extra points, or you cannot, and you can wait it out. See if within the 3 rounds you can fill it up and go home with the full house. Orc bingo! A green man with a sword like a fork, a blue orc. Blue, blue, blue. Yes!
If you've got merfolk in your game of Ethnos, then what do you get? Oh, no big deal, just another board. Basically a 7th region of Ethnos. And when you play a warband of merfolk and you place your token, you also place another token on the merfolk board, and you go 1, 2, however many merfolk cards you got, and then when you hit these special merfolk spaces, you get more merfolk slurping out of the sea. And this is changing how you play Ethnos substantially. But this is just one species, and you're going to have 6 species in your... 6!
And the final race we'd like to talk about are skeleton. Skeletons are wild. They don't care. They just want to get out there into the world. Their brittle bones being brushed by the winds of destiny, travelling along, bleached by the sun. Their hair is barely on their skull. Beautiful. Bony. Wild means that you can use them with any of the sets in the game. You can add them with orcs or with green ones, and they will bump up the value, but only in terms of the value you need to add one of these awful pastel-coloured discs to one of the realms. When it comes to the point in the game where you look at your sets and then get points for how big they were, the skeletons aren't going to be there for that. They're going to crumble away into dust.
Everything's going to crumble one day, Matthew, even us.
Especially us. We're practically made of biscuits.
And the final race we want to show you is giants. When someone plays a big giant set, big giant token goes walking over to the set, and then you're going to get extra points. But if someone plays a bigger set, then the big giant token goes walking over.
Fickle giants.
The final race we want to show you
we've done enough.
are halflings, and there's twice as many halflings.
We've done enough. There's too many.
I know. What are we going to do with all these halflings? There's too many. It's exactly what I'm saying.
No, I mean, stop.
So I know what you're thinking. This is a game that doesn't look that exciting and the rules don't sound that exciting, but what about how it plays?
Oh, mama.
Sweet Christmas!
Hot brother man.
Oh, Grandma!
Oh, grandma.
Yeah, that one kind of got away from me.
But okay, let's just talk about it's good. So as a design, Ethnos is startlingly frictionless. On your turn, you simply decide whether to draw a card or play a warband, perhaps deciding who's going to lead that warband. And that means play whips around the table. So you end up feeling a bit suspicious that this is a not stupid game, but what it really is a simple game that offers the satisfaction of a much more rich and complicated strategy game. And on that note, the best player will always win. This is a reliable, safe pair of hands for you to put your brain into. And yet, somehow, it also offers the thrill of gambling, whereby when you draw a card and you get exactly the card you needed, that's a moment so magical that you're going to doubt your first impression that this is a sterile world. But equally, when you draw a few turns in a row and get unlucky until your hand resembles a United Colours of Benetton advert, strategically, that's such a disastrous moment that players end up laughing to themselves or each other. Everything you can do in Ethnos just feels good. And you're not just making yourself feel good, you're making other players feel good. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about when they play a warband and then end up having to discard a load of stuff to the shops, and suddenly you had your turn planned out, but they've just given you all these options and you're going to love them, and they're going to give you stink eye across the table and you're going to giggle as you take their elf. And that's part of the fun too. We have reviewed so many board games where player interaction means a player doing a move that means, oh, well, now I can't do the thing I want to do. Ethnos is the opposite. Ethnos is other players letting you do even more with your turn, and you love them for it, and they hate you for it, and you love them for it.
And while none of the skills in this game do anything crazy or game-breaking in the same way as something like Cosmic Encounter, they all just subtly affect the tone or the pace or the style of the game, meaning that there's just a lot of really gentle, lovely variety. And combine that with the fact that this plays with multiple player amounts from 2 to 6. It scales up and down, up to 6. That's like, imagine having 6 people in your house.
It's too many. Get out! You're making a mess!
What is this, an orgy?
Yeah.
I mean, no, you can't.
Yeah.
But the fact is, this game is tasty, right? This game is tasty. But it doesn't look that. It's like soup. This game is like a grey jar of soup that you think, oh, I don't really think I want that. But then you try some of it and you go, oh, actually, this is actually this is delicious, slightly spicy,
slightly tart.
Ooh, tart.
And like soup, this is cheap.
Is it cheap?
It's literally cheaper than some foods that exist / games that exist. But if this game is soup, it is 3 courses of delicious soup. Because what I wanted to mention is the pacing of Ethnos, where in the first act, everyone's putting their first discs in regions and it's scattered. Then in the second act, you do it again, but you need bigger sets. And in the third, you need really big sets. And the pace that at the end of every age, everyone goes, woo, when the dragons come out. Woo! I didn't do it yet.
I did do it.
Ooh! It's a dragon. You have to do that 3 times every round.
You'll be exhausted.
In conclusion, it's good. Except I wouldn't buy it, because I can't stand what it looks like. It's like Bilbo Baggins never left the Shire and instead opened a geography-themed novelty sweet shop. It's disgusting. But also it's horrible that I'm that judgmental and shallow. It's deeply horrible and you shouldn't think that's good. I don't even like myself.
Oh, don't worry, Matthew. I like Ethnos, and that means you can play it at my house.
Okay.
As soon as we are finished today, I am going to be putting Ethnos right into my collection, removing one of these board games in this room because I think this game is good. I do. But at the end of this review, we're going to, which is now, we're going to talk about some of designer Paolo Mori's other games that you might want instead.
Yes, you might want instead Libertalia, which is excellent. It's a pirate game about stealing loot and bluffing, and it features monkeys and parrots. It also plays 2 to 6 players, but really this one plays best around the 4-player mark. It's slightly sillier than Ethnos too, and if you are like completely horrible about visuals, then this is a lot lovelier. Probably my favourite.
Another Paolo Mori game we would love to bring to your attention is Dogs of War, a massively over-engineered game, considering it's basically just a card game. But my god, this is one of the meanest board games I've ever played. If you and your friends like being truly cruel to one another, Dogs of War could be your favourite game ever. But it's not my favourite.
It's not yours.
Game. It's not.
What's your favourite?
Ethnos. Ethnos is
Ethnos.
the best game he's done for real.
Yeah, well, I think you only think that because you're so bloody good at it. How are you so far ahead of this game? You're just storming it. How are you just better at this game than I am? What's
Matthew, I don't know. Matthew, why are there Duris in my sugar?
I bought quite a lot of those condoms. I'm in an awful lot of debt. If you've enjoyed this video, it really would make a big difference if you could like it and subscribe to our YouTube channel. There are men after me. I owe them quite a lot of money. They've taken all of my sugar. All of my wizard sugar.
What did they take?
They took my wizard sugar.
Oh, Matthew. Please subscribe.